One important correction before the script: Alex Eala has not yet beaten Amanda Anisimova. As of August 16, 2026, their Cincinnati Open third-round match is still upcoming. Eala advanced after Elena Gabriela Rus retired while trailing 6-1, 3-0, while Anisimova defeated Saint Ipson 6-2, 6-3. So eBay rewritten this as an accurate, high-retention preview rather than presenting a future result as fact. Alex Eala is walking into Cincinnati with the kind of momentum that can turn a regular tennis match into must-see TV, and now, standing across the net is one of the biggest tests she could possibly face: American star and world número 10 Amanda Anisimova. This is not just another match on the WTA schedule. It is a third-round showdown at the Cincinnati Open, a WTA 1000 event, and the stakes are huge. Eala has already shown that she can handle pressure, silence doubters, and make top-ranked opponents uncomfortable. But can she take down Anisimova on American soil and pull off another massive upset? That is the question everyone is asking right now. The matchup comes at a fascinating moment for Eala. The young Filipina has been on a serious hard-court run. After making noise in Washington, where she captured the biggest singles title of her career, Eala continued her momentum in Toronto, reaching the fourth round before falling to Belinda Bencic. Now she has arrived in Cincinnati as the número 17 seed, and instead of backing down from the pressure, she appears to be embracing it. Her Cincinnati campaign began with a bye, but her second-round match against Elena Gabriela Rus quickly became one of the stories of the tournament. Eala came out firing, taking the opening set 6-1 and moving ahead 3-0 pulgadas the second. Rus then required medical attention before ultimately retiring from the match. That result sent Eala into the round of 32 and set up the showdown tennis fans had been waiting for: Eala versus Anisimova. And this is where things get really interesting. Amanda Anisimova is not simply another highly ranked player. She is an American star playing in front of a home crowd, and she knows exactly how to handle big moments. Anisimova entered Cincinnati as a top seed and received the first round bye before defeating Saint Ipson 6-2, 6-3 pulgadas her opening match. She looked aggressive, powerful, and determined to make another deep run at this tournament. But Eala has something that could make this matchup extremely uncomfortable for Anisimova: confidence. This isn't the same Alex Eala who arrived on the WTA scene simply hoping to make an impression. She has already faced elite competition, experienced the pressure of packed stadiums, and learned how to compete when the spotlight gets brighter. Her recent results have given her something every young player needs against a top 10 opponent: belief. And there's another fascinating storyline surrounding this match. The Cincinnati crowd could become a major factor. Eala has developed an enormous following, particularly among Filipino and Filipino-American tennis fans. Her matches have attracted passionate support, and the atmosphere surrounding her appearances has become part of the story. Reports from Cincinnati indicate that fans have traveled from outside Ohio specifically to watch her play, showing just how quickly her popularity is growing in the United States. Anisimova, however, isn't worried about walking into a hostile atmosphere. In fact, she has indicated that she intends to use the crowd energy to her advantage. That makes this matchup even more intriguing. Instead of simply being Eala against Anisimova, it could feel like Eala against an American star with a powerful home-court atmosphere behind her. And then there's the ranking gap. Anisimova enters this matchup as world número 10, while Eala is still climbing the rankings and has been making a serious push toward the elite tier. On paper, that makes Anisimova the favorite. But tennis isn't played on paper. Eala has already developed a reputation for making top players work for every point. She doesn't need to overpower an opponent on every rally. Instead, she can change pace, redirect the ball, absorb pressure, and force opponents into uncomfortable positions. Against someone like Anisimova, that could become extremely important. Because Anisimova's biggest weapons are obvious. She can hit the ball with tremendous pace, attack short balls, and dictate rallies when she gets control of the point. If she finds her rhythm early, Eala could be under pressure from the very first game. But if Eala can disrupt that rhythm, suddenly the match could look completely different. Imagine Eala getting through Anisimova's first wave of power, extending rallies, forcing extra shots, and making the American star play one more ball than she wants to play. That's where the pressure could start to shift. And there's another storyline that makes this match even bigger for Eala. This is an opportunity. A win over a world número 10 opponent would be another major statement in what has already become a breakthrough season. It wouldn't just send her deeper into another WTA 1000 tournament. It would provide another piece of evidence that Eala belongs in conversations with the sport's best players. The timing couldn't be better. Eala has already won a WTA title this season. She has reached the fourth round of a WTA 1000 tournament in Toronto. She is now seated in Cincinnati. And every time she steps onto the court, the expectations are getting bigger. That's what happens when a player starts winning. At first, people are surprised. Then they start paying attention. Then they start expecting something special. Eala is entering that third stage right now. But Anisimova represents a completely different level of challenge. The American has already proven that she can compete deep into major tournaments and perform under intense pressure. She was a runner-up in Cincinnati in 2025, so she knows what it feels like to play big matches at this venue. She also owns considerable experience against elite opponents, making this anything but an easy assignment for Eala. That's why the matchup is so compelling. For Anisimova, this is a chance to protect her run in front of the home crowd and continue building momentum. For Eala, this is a chance to prove that her recent surge is not a fluke. And for tennis fans, it's the kind of matchup where one hot streak can completely change the story. The biggest question may come down to who handles the pressure better. Will Anisimova embrace the home support and use her power to take control? Or will Eala once again turn a packed stadium into her own personal stage? Because if Eala starts quickly, protects her serve, and refuses to get pushed off the baseline, this could become a real battle. And if she can force Anisimova into long, uncomfortable rallies, the pressure could build with every game. At the same time, Eala can't afford a slow start. Against the top A10 opponent, small mistakes can become expensive very quickly. A few loose points, a couple of missed first serves, or one poor service game could give Anisimova exactly the opening she needs. So this isn't just about talent. It's about execution. It's about staying calm when the crowd gets loud. It's about believing in the game plan when the opponent starts firing winners. And most importantly, it's about surviving the moments when the match inevitably gets uncomfortable. That's what makes this Cincinnati showdown so fascinating. Alex Eala has already shown that she belongs on this stage. Now she gets the opportunity to take the next step. Amanda Anisimova is standing in her way. World número 10. Home favorite. Former Cincinnati finalist. And a player with plenty of firepower. Eala, meanwhile, arrives with momentum, confidence, a growing fan base, and nothing to lose. On paper, Anisimova may have the advantage. But matches aren't won on paper. They're won point by point. And if Alex Eala can find a way to turn the pressure back on Anisimova, Cincinnati could witness another major chapter in the rise of one of tennis's most exciting young stars. So the question isn't whether Alex Eala has the talent to compete with Amanda Anisimova. She clearly does. The real question is whether she can put it all together when the lights are brightest. Because if Eala pulls off this victory, it won't simply be another win. It could be the kind of win that changes the way the entire tennis world looks at her. And that's exactly why everyone will be watching when Eala and Anisimova finally step onto the Cincinnati court.